Good afternoon, children. Today's discussion is about the chapter combustion and fuels. Now, we know we need lot of energies to perform various kinds of jobs. In everyday life, we perform different activities, and for doing these such activities, we need lot of energy. There are various ways by which we can able to obtain energy. The most easiest way or the common way by which we can obtain energy is by burning fuels such as wood, petrol, diesel, coal, natural gas, etc. These are the these are collectively known as all the things which I stated earlier when they are collectively known as fuels. Now, what is a fuel? Definition of a fuel: a substance that is burned. A substance that is burned with a view to obtain or to get heat and light from it is called a fuel. So this is the definition of a fuel. Now, examples of such fuels are coal, that is coal, petrol, diesel, natural gas, wood, etc. are the examples for the fuels. Now, by burning the fuel, we obtain lot of heat, and this heat is known as thermal heat or thermal energy, because thermal energy is the energy by which we can able to receive heat. So that is heat energy is known as thermal energy, often accompanied by. Now, this heat energy always will be sometimes accompanied with light also. So in this chapter we will discuss about this thing. Now, thermal energy is the most common form of energy that the mankind has been able to use since a long. It is generally obtained from combustion. Now, when a substance combines first with oxygen, we know that when a substance combines with oxygen, oxidation takes place. So when a substance combines first rapidly with oxygen, giving out heat and light, then this phenomena is referred as combustion. So this is the definition for combustion. Thus, combustion involves the burning of a substance. We must have seen that a piece of paper or a splinter burning when it is ignited in the presence of air. In fact, this is an example of fast chemical change. Obviously, like if we strike a matchsticks, when the matchsticks will shine, it shows that it is a fast chemical change, because as soon as we are striking the matchsticks over the side of the matchbox, which is also coated with some chemical, so after striking, so we can able to notice that matchsticks lit with a light, and it lit very promptly. So that's why this type of action is referred as a fast chemical action. As a result, the elements contained in the substance being burned from there and forms corresponding oxide. This is accompanied by the release of heat and light. A substance that undergoes combustion is known as combustible substance. For example, wood is an example of such combustible substance, because when we burn wood, if we lit wood, it burns with heat, gives heat, as well as it associates with light, Similarly, after burning, we are getting the waste material out of wood, which are referred as the ashes. Now, the substance, so wood, coal, petrol, diesel, natural gas and petroleum gas, all these are the respective examples of combustible substances. Thus, wood, coal, petrol, diesel, kerosene, wax, etc. are also referred as fuels. As these contain, because all these materials contains carbon. In the free states, some materials, in these carbon may be contained in free states also, or in here some may contain in combined states also. They also called carbon-based fuels. So thus these fuels are referred as carbon-based fuels. So whenever any fuel, when it is being burned, so if it gives black mass, so that means there is a presence in that substance, the element carbon should be there. Hydrogen is an example of non-carbon based fuel. Now we will be discussing about supporter of combustion. Supporter of combustion. By this word we can able to understand that supporter of combustion means the combustion which is being happened, okay, by certain support. So now what is that? A supporter of combustion is a substance whose presence is essential, for the combustion of another substance. So how can we define it? We can define it like this. A substance whose presence is required for the combustion of another substance is called a supporter of combustion. For example, for all those substances that burns in air, so oxygen acts as a supporter of combustion, because without the presence of oxygen, nothing can be burned. No substance can be burnt in the absence of oxygen. Thus, oxygen is an utmost necessary part for enhancing combustion. Carbon dioxide. Now, on the other end, if we talk about carbon dioxide, so carbon dioxide behaves like a non-supporter of combustion, because whenever carbon dioxide is being applied to a particular burning object, so we can notice that the burning object gets extinguished due to the action of carbon dioxide. Hence, carbon dioxide acts as a non-supporter of combustion. It can extinguish the fire. It can put out the fire. So wherever there is any fire, but fires may be of different types. So ultimately different types of extinguishers are being used nowadays, because some fire is being caused due to electric short circuit. Some fire may be caused due to due to burning oil. Some fire may be caused due to different things. So there are varieties of fire causing tendency. So all these tendencies may be overcome by using different extinguishing devices. Now, here, if we say that air is a supporter of combustion, for this purpose, if we take an example, we can take an example like this. If we take a tumbler, so we have taken a tumbler. We have placed here, I have placed here a candle. Now, here, this is the tumbler, this is tumbler, this is candle, and this is the flame of the candle. So now, here we are noticing that the candle is in the verge of burning. Candle is burning over here. It is lighting. now, and nothing is surrounded over it. That means air is coming. All these are respective air. Air is coming here, and that's why the wick of the candle gets lighted and it remains in a continuous phase. There may not be any kind of flicking tendency, but if air will move more rapidly, so there will be chance of having flickerness. It may flick to the left or to the right. Now, second phase. Now the same thing. Now we are covering it. First we have noticed that the candle is lighting. Now we are covering it by means of another glass tumbler. So as soon as we cover it, we can able to notice here that still it is lighting for certain moment, and afterward this will extinguish. Means no more flame is being noticed, because you have covered by means of a glass tumbler, and it may take at least 2 to 3 minutes, or it may be more than that. It depends on the capacity of the tumbler. So by this we can able to notice here that gradually the flame extinguish and it put off. You can able to notice that some smokes coming out after extinguishing the wick of the candle, and thus we can able to notice here that it is totally in extinguishing mode. So this means that now no more oxygen is getting profusely inside the candle. Candle is not receiving lot of oxygen, nor any trace of oxygen here. Whatever the oxygen has been intact over here within this capacity of the glass tumbler, which we have blocked the path of the candle. So that means that much oxygen has been used up by the candle. So carbon used up that one, and carbon turns into carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide cannot be able to escape out, and hence it stores over there, it stocks over there, it gets remained inside. And thus, as it remained inside, so in this way, gradually, it embedded the lighting portion of the candle, that is the wick, and thus gradually, it extinguished. So by this, we can able to acknowledge that after the formation of carbon dioxide only, the flame of the glass tumbler, which has been covered by means of another glass tumbler, so gets extinguished. It is put off. So this means that carbon dioxide acts here as a non-supporter of combustion, whereas oxygen acts here as a supporter of combustion before keeping surrounding a glass tumbler within the burning candle. So this is the thing happens. So now we should discuss about ignition temperature. In this part you have noticed supporter of combustion, non-supporter of combustion. Now next discussion is about ignition temperature. Now ignition temperature. Ignition means burning. That is combustion. That is called ignition. And from the word parent word is ignite. And from ignite it is ignition. So now the definition for ignition temperature will be like this: the temperature to which a substance must be heated before combustion takes place is called or is known as its ignition temperature. So this is the definition for ignition temperature. As we know, wood or coal or any kind of fuel, all these materials are referred as a fuel. But these fuels does not start burning on its own, because we can't able to, unless and until the wood is being burned, wood cannot able to show combustion. So hence it is necessary to ignite it. Then only combustion will be enhanced. So we can say, no, it has been heated with a flame and only then does it begin to burn. But once it starts burning, so much heat is being produced or developed that the whole piece of wood or the whole material gets burned completely in the presence of air. A fuel starts burning only when it is heated to a temperature, at a particular temperature it is heated. So that temperature here roughly known as ignition temperature, and I have already given the definition for ignition temperature. Now, to get it more understand, we can give an activity. We can discuss, if we discuss an activity, so we can able to make it understand in a better way. For this purpose, we need a paper cup. Here we need a paper cup as shown in the diagram. This is the diagram shown over here. This is called the paper cup. This is the flame. Over the paper cup is here, and inside the paper cup water has been kept. Now in this way, how can you show? So we will be taking a paper cup, and inside the paper cup we should place water, and after that we should place the paper cup which contains water over a flame, and now we will lead the flame. As soon we can able to notice that after lighting the flame, after some times back, we can notice that the water which has remained inside the paper cup gradually becomes hot, or it becomes hot, but the cup will not burn. Water inside it is hot, but the paper which is made of cup which can be burnt very easily in the presence of heat, so that it is not burning at all. Now, why this situation arises? Though we know paper cup, when it is being shown to fire, obviously it will be burnt into ashes. But in this condition, no impact is being noticed. The paper cup remains in the paper cup mode. Water only starts boiling. Now, question is why this happened? Here the answer will be like this. This is happened because the water takes away the heat from the cup, and it does not allow it, does not dissipate it does not allow it to reach its ignition temperature. If it will allow to reach its ignition temperature, then surely the paper cup will burn. But it is not reaching to its ignition temperature, and unless and until it reaches its ignition temperature, so no more burning tendency will occur. So that's why the paper cup remains in alive mode, and water only inside starts boiling. So this is the thing happened. So by this we can easily understand, number one, why fire is extinguished, why fire extinguisher is used for extinguishing the fire by water. Similarly, fire is extinguished by using water. Similarly, a log of wood takes longer time to start burning than wood shavings when heated in a flame. So this thing means if we take wood shaving, if we take wood logs, so and if we burn simultaneously at the same time both by taking a matchstick, so we can able to notice that the shaving of the woods will be burned very rapidly. But the log does not burn, because the reason behind is here that the shavings of wood it is very thin by mass, and hence it can burn very easily with respect to, and even also it has less mass. Thin, that thickness is very thin, and as well as less mass. That's why it can burn profusely. But the log contains lot of material, lot of carbons are there. So that one burning matrix is enabled to set ablaze to that particular log, and hence the log cannot able to ignite in the same manner as the wood savings are happened. So when water is poured over burning substance, it absorbs heat from the substance. As a result, the temperature of the substance falls below the ignition temperature, and as it falls below the ignition temperature, so this temperature, that's why we utilize anything over burning material, so to stop burning. So thus a log of wood has a huge mass. So when we heat it with a flame, the log receives and dissipated through its buck, and the log takes a long time to attain the ignition temperature due to its large mass. In both the cases, they have, in wood shaving, carbon is there, in wood log, carbon is there, but wood shaving is having less mass, thin by size, so thus it can ignite more rapidly. So this is the thing happens over here. So by this we can able to say that if anything has more mass, anything, and if it is a fuel, so it will take more time for ignition. To ignite, it takes more time due to heavy mass, large mass. But if it is having less mass and size is also inferior, so we can able to notice here that it can burn rapidly with respect to those have more masses. So now I have concluded